Hello everyone, my name is Pinkulia and welcome back to Adventure of a Lifetime. After diving to the ghost ship as a test run, the group has decided to relax on renting out diving equipment for the sake of their wallets. While discussing taking a break from diving in the ghost ship for a while, their friend Ryoto shows up with flyers for the summer festival. Looks like we'll be helping out with the festival as well as watching it when it starts, so let's see what all that is about. Oh yeah, we just asked Chisa, or said that Chisa was having fun, so she replies with, "Yeah, I mean, maybe a little." Chisa pursed her lips in discontent and looked at the freshly printed flyers. "I'm so glad it's on the back. If it was on the front, I'd have to walk around ripping them down." As I watched her, I contemplated on whether I should ask. It seemed like what Chisa just said might be part of the reason she didn't want to scuba anymore. I might ask her about it. "Hey, Chisa." "Huh?" "Next time, why not come diving with us?" "What do you mean?" "I have been diving with you." "No, I mean scuba diving. We can be buddies, just like old times." Chisa looked hesitant. "But then Emily won't have a buddy. If you try telling her not to dive, she'll go off." "True. But I want to go diving with you again." "Yeah, maybe one day." She was dodging me, and there wasn't much else I could do. Due to the current circumstances, I needed to dive with Emily. And that was fun and all. But I had come to Ogasawara to go back to that special place with Chisa. But when I tried to bring it up, she ignored me completely. Maybe she was embarrassed. Or maybe I was missing something. "What is it?" "It's nothing." Chisa shook her head and muttered "weirdo" under her breath. "Alright, it's time to open shop." Chisa stood up and put on her apron. The cafe would be opening in 15 minutes. "Can I hang this flyer up over here?" "Sure, go ahead." "Jeez, this is ridiculous. Why do they have to call me Dolphin Girl?" "I'll have to put it up so that there's no way to see the other side." Chisa muttered as she hung the flyer up on the shop bulletin board. Even though Chisa complained, she never refused a favor. That's why people relied on her so much. Anyway, I can't wait for the summer festival. Yeah, and the Bond Festival too. We stood there looking over the flyer as we talked about the old days, and it made us even more excited for the future. Oop, transition. It's such a nice transition, but to be honest, the transition times don't always make the most sense. I woke up early for a light walk on the beach. Looks like it's going to be another hot one. The clear weather was great, but this kind of heat really made you miss the rain. Huh? Shinami was on the beach too, but she seemed distracted by something. "Morning, Shinami. Never thought I'd see you outside."
"Ah, Hero. As a general rule, I abstain from going out of doors. But you see, I am troubled by something."
"And what's that?" I looked to see what she was staring at. The old tourist guy. Wait, that guy. The other man who'd come by our cafe for breakfast the other day was standing in the water's edge of the deserted beach. "Good morning." "Huh? Oh, it's you. Morning. Out for a walk?" "Oh, I guess so." The man looked out at the water. "It's strange that after working so hard for so long, I'm not sure what to do with my free time." "I see." "He should just do whatever makes him happy. But I guess that's easy for a teen like me to say. Adults probably think differently." "You work part-time in the cafe, right?" Not really, I just tap out because I'm staying there for free. For free? Michiko's cafe is my grandma's cafe. She's gonna close up this summer, so I came to help for summer break. Ah, so you're not from the island. Yeah. What about the other kids working there? Oh, Chisa is a local. She's the energetic one with the tan. And then there's Emily. She came from the main island like me to have some fun on summer break. She's the pretty blonde one. Of course, I couldn't tell unless she ran away from home. Is that so? I'm sure getting that kind of experience so young will serve you well in the future. Why, when I was your age... Oops, I should probably stop myself from starting a lecture. That's why kids dislike adults. Anyhow, I'm pretty hungry. Guess I'll head back to my hotel now. How about coming by for breakfast? I wouldn't dare. Oh, and I do apologize for barging in before you opened last time. Well, we open for dinner, so please do come again. We're a simple cafe, but we serve good food. I'll be sure to swing by soon. The man waved and plodded off.
Suspicious. Extremely suspicious.
Chinami, are you seriously planning to stalk him?
Yes!
Stop it, you'll just make him angry.
I've grown weary of this island life, and I've been longing for stimulus such as this.
There are other ways to have fun. Chinami could really be a handful sometimes.
Fancy. Wow!
We really shouldn't laugh. That afternoon, Emily and I sat on a bench in Ogamiyama Park watching a video on our smartphones. Chisa came over to join us. What are you watching? She snuck a peek at the screen.
Huh? Ah!
Hello, my name's Chisa Ogasawara. This little guy is Finn the dolphin. Yes, this little guy and I became friends after he was abandoned when he was just a baby. And, what are you watching? The TV show you were on. We found it on a video site.
You're scared stiff.
Of course I was. It was my first time on TV. Finn is always there when I swim, but he likes playing around so he can be a bit of a brat. You know what I'm talking about. No, you can't flash the TV people. And that's when Chisa grabbed the phone. Enough is enough.
Oh, Chisa's always so cool. Seeing her like that is so cute. I think I like you even more now.
Shut it, you. Look, all the comments say cute too. What, really? Oh wait, looks like they were talking about Finn. Hiroki! I'm just kidding, they called you cute too.
That was great. I'll have to bookmark it for later.
Emily, come on!
Oh, it was cute. Don't be so embarrassed about it. To think, even Chisa has her weakness.
I've got tons.
Oh? Such as?
Such as... Psych, did you think I'd actually tell you?
Boo! Talk about party pooper. So that's how it is? And here I was, ready to take you someplace nice.
Wait, what? Not happening now. Chisa took some ice cream out of her grocery bag and started eating. She turned the other way and silently in an effort to show she was ignoring us.
Oh, ice cream! I want some too!
The store is back that way.
Oh, don't be mad. The other ones will just melt if you don't give it to us.
Fine. Chisa sulkily handed over the rest of the ice cream. Oh yeah, what did you mean by someplace nice? Don't think I forgot already. Ugh. The Tuna Hole. The Tuna Hole? What is that? Oh, I've heard of that. It's one of the best diving spots in Ogasawara. I was thinking how much fun it'd be for us to all go snorkeling there. That way you won't have to rent equipment, and we can try out Hiroki's camera. Oh, great idea! Emily owned her own mask and snorkel, but always had to rent other diving equipment. Renting was sort of a pain, since it was sometimes difficult finding the perfect fit. And since masks and snorkels weren't all that expensive anyway, most people ended up buying their own. Of course, I had mine too. Chisa was a big help, as she was able to handle the outrigger canoe and could act as our guide. But on second thought, I'm not feeling it anymore. Sorry, but I'm going home to take a little nap. What? I'm sorry, Chisa. I shouldn't have laughed. Oh, please. Emily wasted no time putting on her puppy dog eyes for Chisa. Chisa, please. Ugh, she's weaponized her cuteness. With that, Chisa was defeated by Emily's cute bomb, and we finally set out for the tuna hole. So does it have like a bunch of tuna fish in it? That's why it's called the tuna hole? I guess we'll find out. The outrigger canoe sailed across the peaceful sea. Another day of smooth sailing. Yeah, should be great for diving. Rhoda answered while watching the waves. Sorry for making you join us on this dive trip, Rhoda. It's no prob. Rhoda was joining the three of us today. It would take an hour and a half to get to the tuna hold at Yomeyama, and once there, we couldn't just leave the canoe unattended. Yomejima, the uninhabited island of Ogasawara. It had residents before the war, but is now deserted. It is located about 50 kilometers north of Chichijima. Speaking of, there were a lot of the islands in Ogasawara chain, but most only lived on Chichijima and Hahajima. People used to live on other islands, but it was hard to guarantee basics like clean water, so they were mostly deserted. Chichijima had Futami Port, an entry point for the Ogasawara Islands, so it was relatively well populated and developed. Hahajima, aside from Chichijima, is the only other populated island on the Ogasawaras. Hahajima is located 50 kilometers south of the Chichijima and has fewer inhabitants. Okai Village is Hahajima's only settlement and is next to the island's port. Iwojima, the largest in the chain, is unpopulated and hosts only a Japan Self-Defense Forces base. Hahajima had fewer people, and as a result, more of the environment in that area was left untouched. We're pretty far out. I can't even feel my butt anymore. Emily was starting to complain. Oh, and there it is. Huh? What is that? Next to the rocky, uninhabited island, a huge arc-shaped rock formation left from the surface of the ocean. It was like something from an epic adventure movie. Over there is Yomejima, but that is the Tuna Hole. Tuna Hole, a natural arced rock formation on Yomejima in the Ogasawaras. Scores of dog-toothed tuna live around it, making it very popular with divers. There are also many other fish species, and dolphins are common. So if you're lucky, you might just meet one. When you said hole, I imagined some kind of cave under the water. It's kind of like that, yeah. Wow. Ogasawara has a lot of interesting places. The formation was probably another product of the coastal erosion. A volcanic island arc like Ogasawara had lots of places like this. As we got closer to the tuna hole, we saw a lot of other boats out for diving.
Hello, good to see you.
For Chisa's family, these were all industry acquaintances. The ones that knew Chisa greeted her as we passed by.
I'm just out here for fun today. How are the currents?
Chisa asked, collecting information from some of the professional guides.
Looks like today is a good day to dive. Are there days when it's not?
Well, the currents can get pretty fast here. When they get rough, it's too dangerous to go down.
Is that so?
Emily's expression became uneasy when she heard about the fast currents.
You'll be fine as long as you're careful. Plus, we'll be with you.
He's right. Just don't get carried away, like you always do.
I never get carried away. And what do you mean by always? The patient exhibits a clear lack of self-awareness.
Chisa shook her head sadly as she took off her sweatshirt. Emily and I were already in our swimsuits. We just needed to put on our fins, masks, and snorkels, and we were set to go.
Chisa, you're wearing a mask too?
I do, sometimes. And Finn's not here, so... Oh yeah, you're not gonna call him? He'll just cause trouble and scare the tuna away. Plus, there are other dolphins around anyway. Pods of bottlenose dolphins showed up a lot around the tuna hole. This was another reason the tuna hole was one of Ogasawara's main diving spots.
Come on, let's get in there.
Okay. Chisa put on her mask and fins and went in first. Okay, Emily, you're next.
Right.
Now that it was her turn, Emily suddenly got nervous about diving without a tank. What's wrong, Emily? You're not scared, are you?
I'm not scared.
Emily switched to tough girl mode and jumped in. After I watched her jump in, I picked up the camera. Alright, I'm off too. We should be back in an hour. Got it. I said to Ryota before jumping in after the other two. Chisa and Emily were still treading in place, their faces above water. Hiroki, is the camera okay? Yup. I had it hanging around my neck so it wouldn't get lost in the water. It was kind of heavy, but not enough to pull me down. Okay then, let's go. Be careful not to get separated. Especially you, Emily.
Right.
Chisa set her snorkel and went down.
Oh.
It's going to be gorgeous down there. I said to Emily, who, in a sudden show of bravery, set her snorkel and went under. I watched until I was sure she was okay, then I joined her. Give me pretty artwork. The light shone softly through the translucent sea. I steadied myself and looked down. The scene that unfolded before my mask was beyond anything I had ever imagined. Fishies! Oh, that's nice. Oh, this is a picture from the opening. I don't know if anyone would remember that, but it showed this briefly. I was speechless. It's not like I could talk anyway, but I almost forgot to breathe, too. Next to me, Emily and Chisa were both under the exact same spell.
There are so many. Are they all tuna?
It's beautiful. The huge arced rock formation of the tuna hole continued all the way to the seafloor. Between its two columns swam several schools of tuna. Their scales sparkled from the sunlight beaming down from above. We didn't bother with swimming and just floated near the surface to watch the scene for a while. The tuna were gathered in the shade of the arc. It was a mysterious sight, and no one really knew why they gathered in this one spot. Some people say it is to spawn, but no one was for sure.
Look, over there! It's huge!
Emily said excitedly as she pointed out. A giant tuna, over 2 meters long, was passing directly below us. Emily went deeper, as if she was being drawn down to it. Emily? Leave it to me. Chisa dived down to swim next to Emily. When she did, the huge tuna swam up next to them. Yeah! It's enormous. Next to the massive fish, the 2 young girls looked even smaller than usual. I hurried to catch a picture of the scene with the camera. I wonder if I got it. If I had, it would make a great picture. From then on, I took pictures like my life depended on it. With a film camera, you couldn't stop and develop the pictures halfway through. That would waste the rest of the film roll. So I started taking pictures of everything, trying to use up the whole roll. I snapped pics of the school of Tuna as the 2 girls watched in amazement. The light coming from right above us was perfect. And this might be my only chance to get pics of them in their swimsuits. I am such a pervert! But Emily looked as if she had found something else. Oh, look over there! It's a sea turtle! Whoa, it is! It wasn't so unusual to see green sea turtles around Ogasawara. Green sea turtle. The Ogasawara Islands are Japan's largest breeding grounds for these turtles, and egg-laying can be observed here. The population was falling, but with protective measures have rebounded. Sea turtles are huge! There were schools of fish, too. Hey, there's a blackjack, and over there's a big-eye trevally. Chisa noticed something and tapped Emily's shoulder. Hey, over there. Huh? Oh! On the other side of the school of Tuna, near the seabed, we saw a crowd of divers. Tuna hate the exhaust bubbles from divers, so the divers stayed near the edge of the tuna hole. The divers kept watching the school from their position on the seafloor. Weird, there's a bunch of people down there. We peered down at the seafloor toward the crowd of people. It was certainly a curious sight for anyone seeing it for the first time. I guess the sea isn't such a scary place for divers, huh? After that, we kept snorkeling for a while, with Emily diving down past snorkel depth and Chisa chasing after her each time. After I ran through the roll of film, I went back up to the surface to drop off my camera. Hey, how's it going down there? It's amazing. It totally is, Emily added as she popped up beside me. I handed the camera to Ryota. It's been a while since my last visit, but it is really incredible. Chisa seemed more excited than usual. Aren't you coming in, Ryota? It wasn't fair for us to keep all this fun to ourselves. Is what Emily seemed to be thinking. Retta looked a bit conflicted. Oh, wait a sec. You can't swim, can you? Emily had the pleased look of a villain who had just found the hero's biggest weakness. How rude. Oh no, that's not it at all. It's just, when I see a fish, I want to catch it and ship it out. Retta said as he stood and looked at the tuna hole hungrily. I want to drop a net and sweep them all out of the water in one go. Huh? Yeah, I totally get it. Everywhere I look, I just see ingredients. I keep thinking, that would make great sashimi. There's this huge blackjack just now. Oh, nice. I can't believe you want to eat these tuna. Don't be silly. Seriously, tuna's delicious. Monsters! Chisa, these guys are monsters! Yeah, I could totally go for some sashimi. You too, Chisa? Clearly, people reacted very differently to the sea's beauty. And with that, that's all the time I have. That was pretty pretty nice experience and a good break for our group, I think. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.